So we all know Caleb Williams is pretty legit. 3 years in college with 10,000 passing yards, nearly 100 passing touchdowns, and almost no interceptions to block up behind it. Along with being a Heisman Trophy winner, this guy has it all. He's so legit. He could be, if not is, the #1 overall pick in this upcoming draft, and the draft hasn't even happened yet. And guess what? The Chicago Bears own the #1 pick in this upcoming draft, and they know they can get an absolute haul if they decide to trade that #1 pick for a team that wants Caleb Williams as well, which is everyone, by the way. Unless you're the Chiefs, you have Patrick Mahomes, but everyone else, yeah, pretty much. This haul could include a couple of first, a couple of seconds, and even a couple young stud players that could help the Chicago Bears roster overall. And the closest team to getting him, the Washington Commanders, who are only one spot behind the Chicago Bears at the moment, sitting at #2. And the Commanders, as of Friday, are starting to release a ton of old talent, creating space in the cap, getting close to almost $100 million in cap. So clearly they're ready to be aggressive this offseason. And with that almost $100 million, they know that they may need to address a lot of their needs through free agency, because if they want to go out and get Caleb Williams, they're going to have to trade a ton of picks for him. And if Chicago does stick with Justin Fields, they are in a beautiful spot to get that record haul, get Marvin Harrison Jr., and maybe even some young studs that have already been in the league and through the draft to address and complete this roster. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year of Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to break down whether the Chicago Bears should give up that #1 overall pick and not get Caleb Williams, or go with Caleb Williams. Now, before I begin today's video, if you want the Chicago Bears to trade back with the Washington Commanders, make sure to hit the like button. It supports the channel more than you guys know, along with commenting your thoughts if we should trade the #1 overall pick or go out and get Caleb Williams, or just write bear down. So let's go through Caleb Williams and what he brings to the table. Like I said, he's a top prospect, one of the best in the last decade, especially at the quarterback position, and his stats show for that. Standing at 6'1", 220 pounds, age 22 years old, runs a 4.59 40 time. He only played 3 years in college and had some pretty impressive stats through only 37 games, totaling over 10,000 passing yards, 93 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a 66.9 completion percentage, and total almost 1,000 rushing yards with 27 rushing touchdowns. Again, in 3 years, in only 37 games. This guy was unstoppable in college during his time. He went to Oklahoma, transferred to USC, where he just kept getting better and better, and could be huge for any team that gets him, and could be the quarterback one of the future for the league for a long time. Definitely worth the #1 overall pick just based off stats alone. Now let's go into the haul rumors. And yes, guys, they're all rumors. Nothing is locked in at the moment. Everything is still up in the air. And until things actually happen, don't take everything so seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. Yes, but the rumors are flying around that the Bears could get multiple firsts, a couple of seconds, maybe even players for Caleb Williams, depending on who they trade with. And the Washington Commanders on Friday let go of center Nick Gates, tight end Thomas, and left tackle Charles Leno Jr., Chicago Bears legend. With those moves and them clearing up cap space and being aggressive, they know that they might not have as many picks available this upcoming season, and they're going to have to address needs for agency because they want to move up for Williams. And one player I would love from the Commanders, because they're probably going to want to get rid of him because of his big $22 million plus contract per year, is defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, who the Chicago Bears need a defensive tackle at the moment. So let's go into the haul that I would do with the Washington Commanders. And at the moment, I would send the #1 pick to Washington, which would land me the #2, number 36, number 67, and defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. Ryan Poles said himself at the beginning of the combine when he met with the media, quote, "I want a trade that improves this team significantly if a trade were to happen," unquote. So with that overall trade, they get Caleb Williams. Fantastic. Best of luck to him. Hope he does great with the Commanders. But what I'm going to do with just those picks and Jonathan Allen address a lot of key areas of need for this team. To start off, Jonathan Allen is an all-pro defensive tackle, would pair well with Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter Sr., and Zach Pickens. Don't need to worry about that through the draft anymore. That's one pick we don't have to worry about, and he still has 3 years left on his contract. Also, he has played with Montez Sweat for a long time and had great success. At that #2 pick, Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's if I don't trade back with the Patriots, but in this world, we're not, because I'm taking him at #2. At number 36, I'm taking safety Tyler Nubin from Minnesota, a projected early second rounder, and at 67, I'm going out and getting our next starting centers, Sedrick Van Pran from Georgia, addressing 3 key areas of need just right there. And on top of it, a 4th with Jonathan Allen. So now my wide receiver 2 is covered. My starting safety is covered. My starting center is covered. And my starting defensive tackle is covered. All for multiple years and just for moving back one spot. So Caleb Williams stats, unbelievable. If he transitions that to the NFL, he will be a dominant force. Can the Bears get that next year? Maybe. We didn't know CJ Stroud was going to be the player that he is. We don't know what Justin Fields could be now that he has a legitimate offensive coordinator, a better offensive line, and more weapons. Overall, it's crazy. As of right now, you guys know me. I'm trading back. I'm addressing more keys of need for years to come. I'm building a dynasty. And I truly think that Justin Fields can be that quarterback to do that as long as he has the right coordinator. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So I'm trading back. But a lot of people might want to keep Williams. Let's hear it in the comment section below. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Dick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.